This is Search for Tomorrow.
Time to cut off your long-distance privileges, Rusty. Ever since you called me on my honeymoon in Trinidad, I've had a very bad taste in my mouth when it comes to you and the telephone.
It was necessary.
It was my honeymoon. I don't work at a time like that, and I don't take orders at a time like that. Not from you or anybody, and I made that very clear before I left.
Get him out of here, will you, Ringo?
Oh, well, I can't...
I'll leave when I'm ready.
Settle this later.
Not before. Besides, never really had a chance to check out this little arsenal of yours. You got some real beauties here, Rusty. Oh, but I was meaning to mention to you, you shouldn't keep these things loaded. They could be very dangerous.
Wait outside, Ringo. I'll call you if I need you.
Fine. I'll be right outside. Right outside.
Put that gun down, Carter. You might hurt yourself.
I didn't come here to play with guns anyway. I came here to tell you that I am finally out. Oh, it brings a tear to my eye, Rusty. But our long and fruitful partnership's come to an end.
You've said that before.
Okay, that's right, I have. They've been my instincts before. But unfortunately, the timing hasn't been right for me to follow through with them until now.
So you're out.
Mm-hmm, that's right. I don't think I have to sign a certificate of separation, do I?
Yes, but think of all the profits you'll lose.
No, I won't. I'm getting the money that you stole from me. And by the end of the week.
How do you figure that, Carter?
Well, up till now, you think you've had something on me, huh? I try to cut loose and you spill everything to Susie. Well, it seems to me I've gathered a little useful information of my own, Rusty. A trump card as far as you're concerned.
Oh, yes? What's that?
What if Joanne Turner finds out she's only being used as a front for a bank whose only purpose was to launder money? Think she'd be pleased? Think anybody in this town would be pleased?
You know, I figured that was what you were going to say.
Yeah?
Would have worked a week ago.
Meaning?
Meaning your information is outdated. I've decided to cancel on the bank for the time being.
Why?
That's my business. You want it out, you're out.
No, I want my money, and I want to know if anything's complicating that. What's the matter? Did Europe pull out or what? What's going on?
Nothing I can't handle.
Doesn't look like you've been handling anything very well these days, Centel. What's the matter, buddy? Cut yourself shaving?
I'll tell you what, Carter. You get that money cleaned up, and neither one of us will have a problem.
Maybe you didn't hear me, Centel, but I don't work for you anymore.
Well, then, I don't see how you can get your payoff, since you've decided...
Centel, I mean it. Don't hold out on me anymore. It won't work this time. There's more than one way to terminate this relationship, and nobody knows that better than you. I get my money by the end of the week.
Perhaps. Perhaps I shall just have to hand it over to sweet little Susie.
You just try that. You try that, and it's going to be the last thing you try.
Oh, thank you, Miss James. I think that'll be all.
Excuse me, Your Honor. Will you be needing a stenographer?
Not until I make my determination.
All right,
Thank
fine.
you.
Call me then if you need me.
Yes, thank you.
Well, I think we should begin with Miss Robbins' report. Can you give us a brief history of the child's life over the past year, Miss Robbins?
Yes, Your Honor. Andrea Mary McNeil was made a ward of the state in November of 1981, at which time it was determined that her brother, Keith McNeil, could not care for her adequately, and she was placed in a foster home.
Excuse me, but it was my understanding that she'd been living with her brother over the past year.
Well, that was determined only recently. She ran away from the foster home, and we somehow lost track of her. And it wasn't until the recent shoplifting incident that we were made aware of the fact that she had been reunited with her brother all this time.
I love my brother. He takes real good care of me, much better than that family.
Excuse me, Your Honor. But there does seem to be some connection between her behavioral problems and her brother's recent marriage.
Oh, you've just married the two of them?
Yes.
I see. And you're not happy about that, Andrea?
Well, at first I wasn't very happy, but it's different now.
Well, then maybe living with your brother now isn't such a good idea, is it?
It is, though, it is. I'll never cause no more trouble if I can go back and live with him again. He's my brother. That's gotta mean something.
Well, there seems to be some confusion even about that.
You mean the situation with the birth certificate?
Yes. There is no birth certificate registered in the name of Andrea Mary McNeil. At least not in Chicago, not in the state of Illinois, and not in the neighboring states. In fact, there was some question raised at the Foster Care Placement Center in Perrysville as to whether Andrea is actually related to Keith McNeil or not.
What about that, Andrea?
What about what?
Have you always lived with Keith?
Sure, my whole life.
Yes. Now, look, Andrea, I'm sure that your brother has been very good to you. And I can understand that you love him very much. But are you his real sister? Be honest now. Andrea, any decision that we come to here today has got to be based on the truth. Now, is McNeil your last name? Or is that merely a name you gave yourself after you met Keith?
I didn't meet him. Not like that. Keith and me are brother and sister. Really. Right, Keith?
Of course, she's my sister.
Your Honor, I think there's still some question about this.
Well, Miss Robbins, it is possible that the birth certificate was lost. It has been known to happen. In any case, the point is not to determine whether or not we have a blood relationship here, but whether this relationship will be mutually beneficial to both of you if it continues. Stephanie, if I'm not mistaken, you've been willing to intervene, to accept a certain responsibility in this case. Is that correct?
Yes. That's why I'm here. I think that when a family gets into trouble, sometimes it's helpful to have an outsider as a buffer. Someone that Andy could visit occasionally and talk to.
Stephanie, I've known you a long time. There's no doubt in my mind that you can provide adequate support and guidance for this child. But it seems to me that Andrea needs much more than that. It seems clear to me that what she needs is a totally new environment in which to live.
A new environment.
Would you consider going one step further? Taking Andrea into your home, becoming a foster parent? On a trial basis, of course.
Well, I hadn't really thought about formalizing the relationship to that extent.
Because unless I'm totally convinced that Andrea will be removed from this present primary home, which does seem to be the source of her conflicts, I have no recourse but to send her to Perrysville. Now, it's clear to me that what this child needs is a much more structured, more stable home than she has now. Will you supply that, Stephanie? Will you take Andrea into your home?
Oh, it's so cold.
Oh, my.
Oh, what?
Where are my keys?
What?
My car keys. I can't find my
You
car.
lost your car? Oh,
Yeah.
Well, where did you have them left?
In my breast pocket.
Well, did you look in your breast pocket?
No, I didn't look. I don't want to look in my breast pocket. If I look in my breast pocket and keys aren't there, then I'll really know they're lost. You see?
You've been doing that routine on me since I was 10, and I fall for it every time.
Is that a way to talk to a man who went 5 miles out of his way and walked through knee-deep snow just to take you to the pond where you used to skate when you were still wearing braids? Huh?
Well, no one else would have done this. Bring me all the way out here for some silly whim. Oh. What I want to know is, how did that pond shrink so much?
Didn't shrink, honey. You grew. Yes, indeed. Into a beautiful young woman who makes me very proud.
I don't know what I would have done without you yesterday. I don't remember feeling that low.
Well, honey, that's why I felt we should get away. Get out of the house, out of town. Just out. Hope it made you happier and hope it helped.
Yeah. Did a world of good. And when the Beacon Inn said they had 2 rooms available, well, that was just great. You know, Mother used to bring Jerry and Danny and me up here twice a year. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Was it heated then?
It was a little chilly last night, wasn't it?
Yes, indeed. You know what? I think we would have been just as well off staying right here at your mother's cabin.
I guess when I was a little kid, I just didn't think about things like heat. Well, this is a perfect place to come to, and you were perfect for bringing me here.
Listen, Minnie, when your only granddaughter tells you, after years of hoping and trying, that she's gonna have a baby, well, I guess, you tend to want to spoil her just a little bit.
I still can't believe it.
It's true. Liza, I really think you should tell Travis. I really do, honey.
No. I can't, Granddad. I'm too angry. I'm hurt. There is one person I'd like to tell, though.
Who's that?
Rusty Sr. You know, whenever the subject came up, he looked at me with such disgust. Like I was some sort of incomplete woman because I couldn't bear a child. Well, I'd like to see the look on his face now.
Well, then, why don't you go and tell him, honey? As a matter of fact, I'll go with you. I'd like to give him a piece of my mind, too.
Actually, if I saw him face to face, I'm not sure I could be responsible for my actions. Oh, don't look so worried. You know what? I better get you back to the riverboat. I've stolen you away long enough.
No, honey, I can call Joe. You know that. I don't have to get back right away.
Yes, you do. You have the lunch crowd coming up. Then maybe I'll just go home and, try and write some music. It's therapy for me sometimes. Or maybe I will go see Rusty. At any rate, I'm going to be just fine. Thanks to you. I love you.
You know, I love you, too.
Yeah, I'm in here. Hey.
Hey, you aren't supposed to be home.
Neither were you.
Well, my English class got cut short this morning. The whole English department is one giant icicle. There's no heat in the building.
Well, you're not.
You know, it's just you. Don't bring out the icicle in me. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. Maybe we ought to research it.
Yeah. Why don't you take off your coat and stay a while? Unless you have to leave again right away?
Not right away.
Hey, did you get a chance to see Rusty Santel today?
I didn't mention to you that I was seeing Rusty Santel, did I?
Well, no. You said you had business to do there, so I just assumed that... Well, you don't even like the mention of his name, do you?
No. You're getting to know me very well. Come here, I want to talk to you for a second. I am not going to be working for Rusty Santel anymore. No bank, no nothing.
Warren, I don't care what you do, as long as you're happy, and you're obviously not happy working for Rusty Santel. I mean, ever since that phone call from him when we were in Trinidad. What's he done to you to get you so upset? What is it about him?
He's just so incredibly arrogant. You know, he just assumes everything.
So what are you going to do? Go back to trading commodities?
Oh, listen, I'll be fine. Just as soon as I get a good capital base back again.
From the money that guy owes you?
Yeah. I'll get that by the end of the week. come on. We're going to be fine financially.
Warren, it isn't the money. I don't care about that. I feel like you hide things from me.
Susie, I promise you I'll be fine once I get away from Rusty Santel. I'm a lot more comfortable when I'm my own man, you know? I'll be a lot different. You'll see.
Well, I don't want you to be different. I love you just the way you are. I really do. Hello?
Hello, Mrs. Carter. Rusty Santel. Is your husband home?
Yeah, he is. Just a minute. It's your favorite person.
What do you want?
Carter, the shipment that I talked about earlier, it's come in ahead of schedule. It's dirty and it needs cleaning.
My participation has ended in that area.
I can't take time away from Henderson right now. Think of it as a personal favor to me.
Oh, come on. You've got to be crazy. I can't. I'm unavailable.
Carter, I've been pleasant up until now. You leave me no choice but to bring Susie into this.
I wasn't bluffing, Rusty. Don't push your luck. I told you what would happen if you make that choice.
Well, custody, so would you like a little more time to think about this?
Well, I really don't know what to say. I do care about Andy, but on the other hand, I'm a fully employed...
Something.
Of course, Mrs. McNeil. We haven't heard from you yet.
Well, I just want to say, I mean, nobody knows better than I do what a wonderful mother I have, and, well, I think she would be a very good influence on Andy.
Well, after all our years of friendship, I don't have a doubt in the world that that's perfectly true. But perhaps the best thing to do is leave it up to Andrea. What do you say, Andrea?
It's her place or Perrysville?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to go to Stephanie's. I mean, Mrs. Wyatt's, Your Honor.
Well, the ball seems to be back in your court, Stephanie. Any decision?
You did say something about a trial period, didn't you?
Oh, of course. We'd want to see how everything worked out before we made any permanent legal arrangements.
Well, if she's willing to try it, I am too.
Does that mean that the answer is yes?
Yes. Andy can come and live with me.
Warren, you better go now, because if you don't, I'll never let you go. Go do your errands.
Okay. I'll be back to take you to lunch. And do me a favor, wear something warmer than this, because if the English department doesn't have any heat, I doubt if the history department will.
Okay.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you, too.